And I also now have the pleasure of introducing our 4 o'clock speaker. And again, we look forward to everybody going to our cocktail reception afterwards. But I'd like to introduce and welcome Bill Walsh. He's a great speaker. He speaks around the country, recently spoke at Harvard, and the recent M&A event that they have for deals that are over $1 billion plus. We're lucky that he was able to attend this afternoon, and it's a great pleasure to introduce Bill Walsh. So please watch his intro video.
Born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, former trader, real estate investor, and startup expert turned venture capitalist and global success coach. He has personally mentored and worked with some of the sharpest entrepreneurs and companies in the world, including Brian Tracy, Mark Victor Hansen, Robert Allen, Les Brown, Vic Conant, and billion-dollar firms like the MGM Resort Properties in Las Vegas, Nevada, and the billion-dollar powerhouse Lottomatic. He has helped take companies from zero to over $500 million, some public, some private, and everything in between. He is the host of the nationally syndicated radio show, The Rainmaker Show, and has been featured in a number of personal development movies, including Pass It On and Embrace the Journey. He loves to work with entrepreneurs and small business owners. One of the students' projects hit the top 1,000 websites in the world in less than 12 months, with over 300,000 customers and revenues of just over $2 million per month. How many people would like to learn the secrets of that success story? He has just completed his new book, The Spirit of a Rainmaker, which is certain to be a bestseller. He travels relentlessly, speaking to small and large groups, and shares specifically what it takes to build a successful company. His company, Power Team International, sponsors and hosts more than 100 events per year, including the Small Business Expos and super conferences that have included superstars like T. Harv Eker, Bob Proctor, and even former President Bill Clinton. His passion is to guide individuals, entrepreneurs, and companies to achieve their dreams. He is one of the most connected guys on the planet. He has a billion-dollar Rolodex and has been interviewed on major networks like NBC, ABC, and Fox. He is the creator of the Rainmaker Summit Business Success Program, which has helped entrepreneurs worldwide find their passion, become laser-focused, and build their ultimate 2-year success plans. How many people here today can use a comprehensive 2-year success plan? He is currently ranked in the top 25 speakers in the area of motivation and inspiration. He is the CEO founder of one of the top venture capital business coaching firms in the world, Power Team International. Get ready for some amazing content on how to succeed in business, connect with millionaires, and discover the secrets to quantum success. He will share with you specifically what it takes to create massive success in today's global business marketplace. Everybody, stand to your feet and welcome our guest speaker,
All right,
Mr.
California,
Bill
how's everyone
Walsh.
doing? You guys have had a long day. Do me a favor and stand up.
No,
I
come
know
on,
you guys
how's
have been
everyone
sitting there all day. Stand up. Do me a big favor. Come on, stand up. Music kind of low. No, turn the music down. I would like you to actually go meet somebody you don't know. Go meet someone here you haven't met so far. Go say hello to someone here you don't know. Come on, guys, let's go. Go find someone you don't know. Let's go. Now you can bring the music up a little bit. Come on. And if you guys are in the back, come sit up front. There's a lot of good seats up here. Music is good. Keep the music going. All right, I didn't say make a date. I said just say hello. Come on and grab a seat. Come on, everybody. First of all, how's everyone doing? I know you guys have been getting a lot of intel all day. How's everyone doing? Good? Hey, you guys are in the back. Come sit up front. I promise I won't bite. Nothing wrong with these seats up here. These guys are really nice people up here too, right? Yes? Pretty good so far? So, let's go. Grab a seat. So what has been some of your big takeaways of this conference so far? You've been here all day. What are some of the things you've learned? Who's got something great that you've learned? What'd you learn?
I learned more about this gentleman's business and a bee he was born in his family. I'm not going to give you more details, but...
That's awesome details, all right? How many guys have made some good contacts here? Quite a few? Let me give you some stats for you that, just so you understand that 20% of most people will, most of the sales will never happen because most people don't what? They don't follow up. Here's some stats, right? 80% of all sales happen after the 10th follow-up, and yet 80% of the people out there never follow up more than twice. Turn to the person left to right and say, that sucks. Say, I am. Come on, I am going to follow up. See, if you spend this kind of money to come to these conferences and you don't follow up, right, you're only cheating all those great future customers. Would you agree? How many guys like the idea of more customers? Say, that's me. And how many guys came here for more than, let's say, 200 miles to get here? More than 500 miles? More than 1,000 miles? More than 3,000 miles? Where the hell did you come from? New Jersey, nice. Anybody more than 3,000 miles? The Bahama guys. Where's the France guys at? That's awesome. We're doing a deal with Team Lotus this summer. Actually, most people don't realize it, but the guys that funded Team Lotus are one of the largest hedge funds in all of Europe. They funded a little company called Skype and a whole lot of other cool projects. How many guys also have more than a reach than just here in the U.S.? How many guys do business all around the world? Cool. Well, you guys will like this talk. I'm going to spend about 45 minutes with you guys and just talk to you about what are some of the critical drivers to grow a business, but also what is it like to build those businesses organically, as well as talk to you a bit about public speaking. Because I think a lot of times what happens, we have these really good messages and we do them all one-on-one. How many of you guys like the idea of exponentially growing your business? Say, that's me. How many of you guys know for a fact that maybe you don't know how to get that done all by yourself? Say, that's me too, right? So our background is very simple. Born in Chicago, created some amazing things, started as a trader, from that to real estate, from that to startups, spent 2 decades doing turnarounds. If you had a good idea to come work for your company, take it public, sell it, raise the capital. And around the year 2000, I did so many turnarounds, and I got to the point I said, why not create lots of great products for all small business owners? And we teamed up with a company out of Arizona called GoDaddy, another company out of Utah called Franklin Covey, and we launched a really cool product called Successfolio. And we had to have marketing. How many of you guys think marketing is important? Write this down. 90% of your success is marketing. 90% of your success is marketing. I don't care how good your products are. I don't care how good your service is with your company. If you don't have marketing, you're done. And I thought part of today's talk would be helpful for you guys because as you guys go out there and work with a lot of clients and you get in all these pitches and you get to meet all these people, I'll tell you some of the things that we look for, but also it's helpful for these businesses to really own these niches, right? And if they do some of these things, there's no doubt they'll be a whole lot more successful. And at that time, we had to have marketing, didn't have a lot of money. We teamed up with a company out of New York City called The Learning Annex and a guy named Donald Trump, and they became a marketing partner. And before you know it, that product was in 20 countries in 20 months. It was a simple business in a box. We helped you get organized, gave you a business plan, and gave you a website. And from there, we launched a business course in '05. I can't believe it's 10 years ago this summer, called the Rainmaker Summit. Many call it an entrepreneur's MBA. It's a 2.5-day intensive course designed to help entrepreneurs launch, grow, build a company. And people had to apply to come. You know, we'd only take like 100 seats a year. And then we had 2,000 applicants the next year. By the next year, we had more than 5,000 applicants for the program. We then launched a venture fund and really created something where it became an online course. We brought on the former dean from the University of Phoenix, the business school dean, and we launched this where literally people could take the course online. And that was where it really started to grow for us, is that think of where, on a deal flow side, that people would pay you to bring you good deals. Because we know if the deal wasn't clear and they have a good plan, good leader, we don't, why waste our time? And we priced the course at around 20 grand for the year. We then put a scholarship package in place where 2 grand they'd come to the business course for the whole year, 5 grand bring their whole company. And same thing, it went virtual, it went viral. It went from being in 2 countries and 2 times a year to now it's 30 times a year live. We now license that course worldwide, US, Canada, Europe, Caribbean, Malaysia, Singapore. We're doing a thing with the government of Cyprus called Empower Cyprus. Also in the Bahamas called Empower Bahamas. And I think once again, all these big companies you're seeing market valuations come out in 3 to 4 years. It used to take 300 to 400 years. I think today, I don't know how many private companies now have market caps north of $10 billion, and most of them are less than 3 or 4 years old. And I think there's certainly some things behind this. And you can say, it's a bubble, it's not good, it's not bad. I've heard all the different arguments, right? But I really do think that we live in an age of technology that's moving faster than we could ever imagine before. We're seeing customer acquisition counts done in less than 60 days, 90 days, that would take 10 years. And so I think it's a big thing to take notice of where this is at, because it's not going to slow down. I think you're seeing companies today that have broken all the barriers because of the fact that some of them are generating more than, you want to write this stuff down, more than 1 million customers a day. Not 1 million customers a year, but some 1 million customers a day. And what happened was in '08, we launched our own private mastermind called WIN, began to fund some more of these companies. 2010, we launched our own speaker program that we would actually coach speakers to become great speakers, teach them how to sell their product on stage. And at the same time, how many of you guys ever had a great idea your friends thought you were crazy? Come on, had a great idea your friends like, that's a stupid idea, that's never going to work. Well, we had this idea that there was these things coming out called these small business expos, And they thought they had this idea where they could put these small business shows in cities across the country. I committed like $1 million to the idea. My friends thought I was crazy and nuts. People don't go to these small business expos. Well, today that process, we're in 10 markets. We get about 100,000 small business owners come through the program. So I can tell you that small business is definitely going through a curve change, but I think it really is the age of the entrepreneur. I think that you guys that are part of this organization here are doing a great job. And the more you can do these two things, and the reason I had you stand up when you first started is that these two words could change your business forever. So please write these down. It's called collective collaboration. So turn left to right and say, I am ready for some more collective collaboration. Turn left to right and tell someone you don't know. Quickly, tell them. And can someone back there get me a bottle of water? Yvette? Hey, Yvette, bottle of water or something? Because I really do believe that, you know, I've done the keynotes for 2 years now for the Global M&A Awards. Goldman was the big winner last year, $145 billion private transaction. BMO Harris, all the big guys are there. Oh, thank you so much. And I really do think that the more at a high level we press into collective collaboration, I really do see a whole lot more deal flow coming through. You know, I think for you to think that you can isolate yourself and not be a part of a better team, I think you're missing so many great opportunities. How many guys like the idea of more opportunity? Say, that's me. How many guys realize you can't do it by yourself? Please write this down. If you could have done it by yourself, you'd already be there. It's not going to be easy. And so sure enough, you know, from there, we obviously have grown and grown, and now we're all over the world and having a lot of fun. But I thought it'd be great to think, why don't most of these companies make it, right? Because I think that's a big part of the story today is that why don't they get there, right? We see all these good ideas. Why do you think it is that most small businesses in this country fail? Because here's some of the stats, right? More than half, some say it was 90% fail in the first couple of years. Less than 7% get to $1 million. Less than 2% get to $10 million a year, right? So why do you think it is that most of them don't make it? What do you think? Money, for sure, yeah. What else? Bad vision or no vision, yeah. What else? No follow through. What else?
Dependent on a single event or individual.
They do what's that?
Dependent on a single event or individual.
Yeah, exactly. One event, they get their one big show. What else? No plan at all, right? What else you think? Anything else you can think of? Because all the businesses that are in here too, listen, you guys should be paying attention to this because these are your investors, right, that are giving you great feedback. And you never know who you're sitting next to, right? You never, ever know who's in the room. You know, we did an event, we had Merv Adelson come speak at one of the events, and my buddy Brian Tracy was there, and Brian said, you know, he said, Bill, that guy's really smart. I said, Brian, he just sold one of the companies for over $1 billion, and Brian said, I told you he was really smart. So you never know, right? And I think sometimes we don't take the time to get to know people. We take the time to talk about what we do, but we don't take the time to get to know how we can actually serve that other client. But when we looked at all these businesses, we started to realize one of the biggest killers for small business called self-doubt. Henry Ford said, you believe you can or you can't, you're right. And I believe that here too. I believe that today, many times what happens, they have no plan, they have no vision. Just finish a sentence. A nation without vision will... What the hell do you think happens to a small business without vision? They have no chance to get there. And I think that's a big part of this too, is that even at the institutional level or the investor level, I think it really is our duty to help these companies, help these entrepreneurs understand that they watch one too many Shark Tanks, they watch one too many videos, right? And they begin to think that's what it really takes, when in reality, if they're not willing to commit everything they have for 2 to 3 years to grow that business, we're better off to tell them not to start. I believe that you're saving yourself a lot of grief and them a lot of grief, because I think they start these things with no intention to finish. And like I said, they never put out a Gantt, they never put out a plan. Most of them don't know what a good plan looks like. And they don't have anything that shows any of the correct and continued concepts where if it doesn't work perfect the first time, right? What are you doing next? And I guess the big question too is, are they committed to the plan? I think so often they start these businesses and they're like, they think it's sexy to be called a serial entrepreneur, when in reality they've never built anything that's significant at all. Instead of building one thing, please write this down, they build it great. So I think a lot of times what happens is that, you know, whatever it's going to be to grow that business, we've realized some key processes, and I think these are great things that if you're looking at these companies, or if you can share with the companies, it'll help it understand what do they have to do to get some financing or build a real company. One of the first ones, of course, is they've got to become an expert, right? Look for the one that leads the company. When we look at investments, I'll take an okay idea with a great leader versus a great idea with an okay leader. Because I know for a fact that 99 times out of 100, the okay leader is going to what? They're going to fail. They'll set themselves up for failure some way down the path, right? And so we look at those companies, we ask the big question is, what's the vision? What's the vision? Where's the mission, right? Because the vision is always where they're going. The mission is how they're going to get there. And many times they don't have no idea what the vision is. And I do the training for a lot of very big companies, and we make the entire executive team map the vision. Would you believe that most times, I'd say probably 8 or 9 times out of 10, hardly none of the team has the vision or mission even correct. And if they don't know where they're going, please write this down, then any path will do. And we know if any path will do, they'll always wind up exactly where they what? Where they started. So one of the most important things we look at in the business, and this is something we train on too, is that they've got to own their space. They've got to be someone that's great in the space that they're in. And they've got to come up with a unique niche, right? What are they going to do that's different? How are they going to stand out in that space? Because if not, you're going to watch people catch them so quickly. I don't think that, you know, Trump said many times, he said the rules for success haven't changed in 300 years, and I believe that. I believe it's hard work, dedication, being persistently consistent, and willing to get outside your comfort zone. And most of the companies that are being started, they're trying to start something that's me too, but they're not really becoming that best in class or best in space. You know, I sat on a plane a few months ago with this young guy. I was flying from LA to Vegas. I live in Chicago, but I was on a plane, and young guy about 24, 25 years old, and had a bunch of tattoos on his arm, a little backpack, and we were sitting in first class, and I said, you know, what are you going to Vegas for? And he said, well, I'm going to play at the club. And I said, well, what do you play? He said, well, I'm a DJ. I said, are you any good? He said, I'm really good. I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. I said, well, you know, we started chatting because I have two sons, and they're both really into EDM and a lot of music, right? As a matter of fact, one of my sons here Evan is here today, but my older son's really into music as well. So I said to the guy, so what's your name? And he said, Dylan Francis. And I said, well, I don't know who you are, but I'm sure my kids probably think you're a rock star, right? So I sent my oldest son, Austin, a text, and I said, have you ever heard of this guy named Dylan Francis? And he said, Dad, that's like one of the biggest DJs in the world. He gets like $1 million a month to go play at the club. And I said to this young man, I said, how did you get there, you know? And he said, when he was 18 years old, he caused a lot of trouble, had a lot of havoc in his life. His parents thought he was a complete nutcase, right? They didn't think he would amount to anything. They told him go to school, get an education. And he met someone that said, if you're not willing to commit 10,000 hours to be great, he said, don't start. I think it's a great lecture you can give to these companies you're working with. Is write down the number 10,000 hours and ask them, exactly where are you at in that process today? How close are you committing to giving the 10,000 hours to be great in this space? Because he said right around 10,000 hours, he met this guy named Diplo, big producer, right? Wound up teaming up with him. You know, and that night he was getting paid like 200 grand to go play at the club. It's called Hakkasan, right? Big nightclub in Vegas. And I think it's once again the same thing. If there's something we can embed and help these entrepreneurs with, these business owners with, is that you got to be best in class. You got to step outside the comfort zone. And you got to own that space as an expert. Say, I am an expert. Turn left, right, and tell them you got to be an expert too. Tell them. Come on. Say this loud. Say, I have big things to do. Turn left, right, and say, you don't know who you're sitting next to. Tell them you don't know. Because you never know, right? Second piece of the equation is that you got to build a community. Every business out there today that's built something worthwhile, they're all building great communities. And I think it's no different. You know, when you interview these companies, ask them, what are you doing to build that great tribe? You got to have a great plan. And I mean a plan that's more than just they wrote out their pie in the sky numbers. Because I get these plans all the time, and I'm like, this is obviously somewhere from fantasy land because it's not real, right? And ask them once again, give me the good, the bad, the ugly, and the great. Because they tend to only give you the great, right? And a lot of times when we look at these plans, are they really mapping out what it takes to go through the good times and the bad times? And then, of course, the systems. I mean, the systems are critical today. You got to have a website that converts. You got to be on page 1 of Google. You got to use iPhones. You got to use iTunes. You got to use all these new mediums, social media. Because if you're not out there, once again, and look at these companies, if they're not poised for growth, they're poised to watch their competitors kick their ass. And I see this happening every day with a lot of these companies, right? They don't have the pieces of the puzzle in place, so we make sure, do you have all those pieces? Do you really have good systems behind you at whatever level? And when we look at a lot of these companies, they don't have any marketing plan, right? Make that part of their business plan so they can show you what does a multi-million-dollar funnel look like. You know, do you actually have a good loyalty plan? Do you have a customer referral plan? These are all little pieces of the puzzle, but the priceless, you know, the results are in the little pieces of the puzzle. And a lot of times if they don't have those checklists of things, right, it's like tell them to go back to the drawing board. And if you're in here today looking for capital, right, these are great things to show out there that have you proven the case in a small model. It's so much easier. It's so much easier to go get capital if you've proven the case in a small model. And that's why a lot of companies, you may not know this, they go to Cleveland. They literally test their products. If it'll sell in Cleveland, it'll sell where? It'll sell anywhere. I know that sounds crazy, but it happens all the time. You can do the same thing with your online tests, right? Show me your online conversions. My son does incubator programs for companies that want to sell stuff online. And he literally takes them through the gauntlet, and then we test it, and you test it. And please write this down. You test it, you track it, you tweak it. You test it, you track it, you tweak it. And it never stops. But when we look at a lot of these businesses, we start to realize what pieces they have, what pieces they don't have. And most of them are missing, or they have one part of it, but don't have the other part of it. A big one also is the teams, right? I always want to look at who's the internal team, who's the external team, and of course, who's the marketing team. And when we look at these businesses, make sure that they have these pieces of the puzzle in place. When we built the Rainmaker Summit program, it was really a culmination of 15 years of training helping companies do this, and then put them through the gauntlet in a weekend and a whole year of follow-up. Because I know if they have all these pieces, they'll make more what? Say customers. Come on, say it loud. Say customers are good for business. What a concept that is. But at the end of the day, the one thing those customers are buying is results. And if you can't speak your results in 30 seconds or a minute, they've already moved on to who? Somebody else. So we'll talk today before I finish up about what does it look like to give a great 2-minute presentation. So you can go out to any investor event, any place you're going, and give an effective message that moves people to say, I just can't wait to get more information. We did an event in London. We had about 9,000 there with President Clinton. And it was neat that towards the end of they said each of the speakers would get like 4 or 5 minutes on stage before Mr. Clinton, the president, comes on stage. And we did something so simple that I gave something away of great value at the end of my 3 or 4 minute talk. And sure enough, 3,000 or 4,000 people jumped out of their chairs trying to get that special that we gave away at all the tables. But from that 3,000 or 4,000 4 years ago, we built our database in the UK to north of 100,000. So understand, there's nothing wrong with giving away some great stuff for free to actually help build some of that marketing, get the tribe going. But without a doubt, whoever has the most customers, please write this down too, and the most exposures, they're going to win, and they're going to win consistently. So when you look at the overall plan of the business, do they have a great plan? Do they have great systems? Do they have a great team? Do they have a good outsourcing team? And do they have some good marketing? And what is their marketing plan? And make sure they're not just going to spend all your money on their marketing guessing. Does that make sense? And if you're looking for money, guys, same thing. Make sure, have you done a test with the marketing dollars, and preferably some of your own dollars? Not just the investors, right? Show me that the models actually work somewhere before you bring it to an investor group saying, let us use all your money to guess on that marketing. It's not, I don't care how great your product is, right? You can test it local. There's a lot of things you can do with that. And that's one of the reasons that we've had so many companies go through this training, go through the program, because if everyone has the same vision, same mission, same purpose, same plan, and you got great systems and accountability and marketing, there's a pretty good chance they'll make more what? Say it's okay. Come on, say it's okay to make a lot more money. Turn left or right and say you deserve a lot more money. Tell them. Why not, right? Helpful so far? And here's some of the companies, right? When you start looking at who's done a great job building communities, right? Just go company after company. What have they done? They've all built killer communities. I mean, Airbnb was started because the guys were trying to find a place to stay, right? But they've built a community. WhatsApp, the guy was laughed at. He went to both the companies that he tried to get a job for, and they said, you're not really our material. And he went back and sold the company for almost $20 billion. Right? I mean, Zappos, he was a brilliant guy that was really, we're in a mastermind together. He was smart before he got there. But he made it easy for people to buy shoes. And what he did, though, at the end of the day, was he created a community. So it's a great question to ask your clients or someone you're working with, right? What are they going to do to build a great community of clients? Because in business, we look at 2 things. Please write these down, too. Number 1, they acquire customers. Number 1, they acquire customers. Number 2, they retain them. And they better have a plan for both. And if that's not in their business plan, how they acquire and retain, it's a great question to ask. Because many times, most of the companies with the greatest valuations today, they have something very powerful called a recurring revenue model. When we began to invest in companies, we built something called gross royalty revenue. We always looked at business and said, if we can help grow that business, give us a piece of the gross revenue. When the casinos opened in Chicago in the early 90s, they did a simple model with a company called Caesars Entertainment. They took a little piece of the gross revenue on the back. Small consulting fee on the front, big fee on the back if they were successful. So you always want to ask them, and once again, if you're looking for capital, do you have a success fee plan in your program? Do you have what are called unemployable experts that are going to help the company, and they're only being paid if the brand is successful? But anyway, on that little simple $300K marketing contract, their back-end fees were more than $40 million. Because they projected revenue at $10 million the first year, they made $10 million the first month. By the 5th month, they're over $50 million a month. So when we look at these businesses, once again, it's understanding what are the pieces they're missing, what pieces they have right or wrong, right? And how do we get them to go a whole lot faster? One of our newest ventures I thought would be kind of fun, and these are some of the tools we give these companies. We give them all this stuff: iPhone apps, CRMs, websites, all the things that they need, once again, to grow that brand, because we know without these things, they're setting themselves up for what? Failure over and over again. This is actually one of our newest projects that we're launching. It's a brand new social mobile business app, right? And it's a really cool product that makes it easy for folks to shop online and save money for more than 3,000 major stores. But at the same time, when somebody shares it, every time they share it, you get a check. Does that make sense? How many guys like that idea, right? More than 40,000 downloads the first day, right? So we know it's a simple model, once again, that says make it easy for someone to shop from major vendors, but also make it easy if somebody and it's a peer-to-peer, right? It's only person to person all through social media. So the whole idea of Uber, what helped Uber grow so fast, was they said if you'll just share the service, we'll give you 20 bucks in free rides. And before you know it, everybody's sharing Uber with everybody, right? Because once you start to use it, it's hard to go back. You go to the UK, you go to London, it's hard to pay 95 pounds for a 40-pound ride in Uber. Are you with me? And so what's neat about this, too, is that I had the honor, and I'm a big believer that you always partner with best in class. Who do you partner with? Turn left to right and say, always partner with best in class. So that photo on the guy you see there to the left, he's actually one of the best-selling authors of all time. He wrote a little book called Chicken Soup for the Soul. Who guys have ever heard of a Chicken Soup for the Soul book? His name is Mark Victor Hansen, right? As a matter of fact, I thought it'd be kind of fun, because Mark lives here in Newport Beach, so I thought it'd be fun if Mark would stop by. Would that be okay with you guys today? So Mark, could you do me here and stand up? Say hello to Mark Victor Hansen, one of the best-selling authors of all time, right? And Mark is always working on innovative projects, right? And I want you guys to stop and talk to him today for a second, because he showed me a video. We came in yesterday. We went down to look at San Diego State with my son, thinking about going to college out here. But Mark showed me a video about the fact that the state of California is running out of water. Right. And it's a major initiative that they've got, that they're doing a new project on. And if you get a chance, you know, spend 2 minutes, say hello to Mark, right? And ask him some information about that project, because I think it's one of the coolest projects that I've seen in years. And I think they have a solution to the water problem here in California. Would that be helpful, yes or no? It's not just here, it's worldwide. But I tell you this because I think I didn't have millions of dollars back then, right? But I had a lot of goals, big dreams, and I wasn't afraid to go talk to people. And I think it's a mistake that we make, that we're afraid to get our message out there properly, and then we miss tons of good connections. How many guys have ever been to networking events or big events like this where you know you miss getting the best connections? Put your hands up high. How many guys would like to stop that forever? Say, that's me. So one of the third drivers we found in really growing the business, right, is you got to be productive. You really have to focus on your productivity. Say busy equals broke. Turn left to right and say busy sucks. How many guys feel like you're busy all the time? Come on, busy, going, right? See, what I started to realize that if you're always busy, you're probably not productive. And please write this down too. It's not what you do, it's what you delegate. It's not what you do, it's what you delegate. Focus on only doing the things that you do best. Focus on what you're great at. And you're going to see the results in your time go through the roof, right? We know for a fact that every day we get 86,400 seconds. And I'm telling you for a fact that those seconds count every day. Who do you give that time to? And a little process in quantum productivity that I'll help you with today is that your brain never stops working. Even when you're sleeping, your brain is still processing. Would you agree? How many guys would like to sleep a whole lot better and get a whole lot more done? Say, that's me. So just try this on for 10 days. For the next 10 days, right, turn off the TVs. Turn off all the garbage on television. And every night before you go to bed, write down the 10 most important things you'll accomplish the next day before 10 a.m. Just write this down, the 10 most important things you'll accomplish before 10 a.m. the next day. And you watch how your brain will literally kick these things into overdrive. And also, no more unscheduled calls before 10 a.m. No more unscheduled calls. If they book time with you, that's different, right? But if they don't book into your calendar, they don't get the time. And the neat part about this, the minute you do this, your brain will work on solutions as soon as you go to sleep. You'll sleep deeper and you'll sleep less. I sleep an average of 4 or 5 hours a night. I've done so for years. And I really believe that you don't need tons of sleep. You just need very deep sleep. Does that make sense? And you'll watch how your brain will work on processing these things at a level you could never imagine. And you'll become so much more productive. And at the end of this, I'll give you guys a way you can get in touch with me. And just send me a note. Say, Bill, you're crazy. That didn't work at all. Or, Bill, I love you. That was so awesome, right? What a great process. Because I know for a fact, the minute you're more productive, you'll make a lot more what? Say it's okay to be more productive. Say I am ready to be a productivity machine. And so what I started to learn is when I went to these conferences and I went to events when I first started out, I would always walk around, talk person to person, always peer to peer, right? And then I realized the way I said, what if I could be even more effective by speaking to the whole group? And if even if it was only for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, right? How awesome would it be to make a whole lot more money? Yes? So we're going to have a little fun test today. Let's just say that CNN came in and they wanted to interview some great entrepreneurs. And they wanted to actually talk to amazing entrepreneurs that are here today, right? And they ask you a simple question. What's your name? What do you do? What would you say? Who could tell me? Just answer it. Whoever wants to answer. What's your name? What do you do? Okay. What else you do? You want to promote your business, right? What's your name? What do you do? Build companies. Okay. What's your name? What do you do? Who else? What's your name? What do you do? Awesome. Who else? Welcome to CNN. What's your name? What do you do? Excellent. Who else? Come on. Welcome to CNN. What's your name, sir? What do you do? Okay, so we all got in front of 30 to 40 million viewers, but nobody gave out a website. Nobody got a phone number. No way to get in touch with you. So a lot of times we think our communication is good, but it's only good for who? Us. So I'm going to show you guys a short video. And in this video, you're going to see something happen where what she thinks is happening is really good, but it's only good for who? For her, right? But even when they ask her, how was the experience? You know what she says? It was good. So many times we think that our 2-minute message is great, but many times only good for who? Us. How many of you guys like the idea of that every time you speak to a group, it generates a lot more business? Would that be fun? How many of you guys think it's important to have a good 2-minute use? Say, yes, that's me. All right, let's see. We want to turn the sound up back there. Let's see if this video plays. You guys ready? Say, Bill? Come on, Bill. Show me the video. Let's give it a try. Let's see.
This is the venue
Volume up a little bit.
for their fake auditions for an advert for lip balm.
We're hoping that we can use part of this in a national commercial, right? And this is a test on some lip balms that we have over here. And these are our models who are going to help us, Roger and Matt. And we have our own lip balm.
She's excited.
And we have a leading brand. Would you have any problem kissing our models to test?
Oh, she's ready. Welcome to CNN.
That was fine.
That would be fine.
Okay. So that this is a blind test, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and put a blindfold on. Okay, now can you see anything?
No.
Hold up so you can't even see down.
Oh, this is not going to be good.
It's completely blind now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now what I'm going to be looking for in this test is how something makes the lips, okay, the texture, right, and maybe if you can discern any flavor or not.
Okay.
Have you ever done a kissing test before? Yes.
He's ready. No problem.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you to pucker up big, and lean in just a little bit, okay? Okay. All right.
This is not good. Oh, no! Oh.
Okay.
Listen up, listen closely.
Jennifer, how did that feel?
Good.
It was good, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. So many times it's good, but only good for who? For us. We think that our presentation, and believe me when I tell you that, If you want to get more exposure, have no fear with connecting, right? Have no fear getting in front of a small group. And I don't care if it's 2 or 20,000, it doesn't matter. And what I'm going to share with you for the next few minutes is how do you build a really effective, quick 2-minute presentation to generate more business? Would that be okay with you guys? Say, Bill, I'm ready. Okay, so number one, right, who you are. And I want you to write this out, but write this out as if it's you doing the presentation, right? So my name is Bill Walsh. I'm the CEO and founder of Power Team International. So write out, my name is, I am the of this company, whatever it is. And you're going to find that anytime you're going to attend conferences where you know you'd like to connect with the whole room, just simply send a letter back to whoever runs the event and say, sponsor and speak at your event. Within 5 minutes, they'll send you back an email. Within 1 or 2 days, they'll send you back an email right away because all these events are always looking for what? And sponsors. They always need more sponsors, right? No matter how big or small the event is, they're looking for it. So once again, my name is Bill Walsh. I'm the CEO and founder of Power Team International. Write yours out, right? The second one is what do you do, right? And what they're looking for here is the result. What are they looking for? The result. What is it you do? And I think, once again, we miss this. What is your value proposition? So in one sentence or less, if I worked with your firm, what would I get? So ours is very simple, right? We empower small business owners and entrepreneurs all over the world to create even more success. We empower entrepreneurs and small business owners all over the world to create even more success. So in one sentence, give somebody your result. What's the result they get when they work with your brand? Got that one? Third one is why should they listen to you? What makes you unique? In your niche, what makes you unique? If you're less than 5 years, you're an innovator. If you're more than 5 years, you're an expert. People like to buy from two groups, experts and innovators. Somewhere in between, if someone says, I do LASIK surgery, I can cut your grass, I'll do the plumbing, and I can fix your car. I'm sorry, you're not touching my eyes. Does that make sense? Because they're probably going to make you blind. Are you with me? So a lot of times, in your space, be the one that owns that niche. Does that make sense? So when we talk about this, I'll say, for the past 2 decades, we've helped entrepreneurs, small business owners, major thought leaders, major companies like the MGM Grand, Lotto-Matic, right, Keller Williams, consistently increase revenues and profits. So once again, if we can serve them, we can probably serve who? If a company is $0 to $25 million a year, we know that 100% of the time we can help them with their business. They get outside that, they can probably hire some really high-paid consultants, solve a lot of issues that they have. But before that fact, we know for a fact that most of them are missing what? Some pieces of the puzzle. So in your niche, what makes you or your company, right, stand out and stand above the rest? And that has to be able to deliver it in less than a couple minutes. Are you with me so far? Good? Helpful? Yes? And then, of course, you know, does your company give back? You might want to write this one down because this is very powerful today, that I truly believe that social impact is the currency of the future. Social impact is the currency of the future. What is your company doing at a big level to give back? People think the NFL is crazy because they support breast cancer awareness, but I'm telling you for a fact it generates hundreds of millions of dollars because they know for a fact that most of the moms do all the shopping for the clothes in the house, and they know for a fact also that if they have a choice between buying gear that supports a cause they have something heartfelt towards and something they don't, that 5 out of 6 times they'll support and buy from them even if the price is higher. So your company should have your cause right front center. What is your company doing to give back? If you're a local brand, give back local. Regional brand, give back regional. And this should be in your business plans too, guys. If you're writing business plans, it should be in the business plan who you're working with, right? At a charitable-based level. If you're national, give back national, international, give back international, right? So when I wrote my book, The Obvious, right, we gave back all the money, went back to breast cancer awareness. Made more money, we built schools in Africa. Made more money, we teamed up with the Big Brothers, Big Sisters nationwide. We're now up to 5,000 kids a year get to come to our business course, Rainmaker, for free. Thank you. Thank you. So believe me when I tell you that this is important because it's marketing. If they don't believe that your company really gives a shit or wants to give back to make a difference, there's a pretty good chance not only will their investment dollars find somewhere else, so will the customers. And that needs to be a part of all your marketing because we know that 5 out of 6 people will buy from a company even if the price is higher if they support a cause they have an affinity to. I'll give you an example. Has anybody here bought Girl Scout cookies? Are they really worth $5 a box? But do you care? Do you buy them anyway? Say, of course we do, right? So it's a big part of your message, once again, is to make sure in that message that it resonates, you give back. And of course, the last one that most of us really miss on any time we speak to a small group or big group is your call to action. And the call to action is not, here's my business card. The call to action is not, go to my website, right? A call to action is always give somebody something of value first. So write down the offer, write down the offer, write down the value of the offer, and then give them the website to go get it. So for example, right, on all of your business cards, you should have something about a special report of some sort. Any investment area you specialize in, there should be a special report about what's happening in your industry. So for us on the back of our cards, back of the information, we'll basically say something like, we've created a very special report for entrepreneurs and small business owners. It's the 5 things you have to know to launch, grow, and build a successful business. The value of this report is more than $497. But for all the CNN listeners today, you'll get it for the next 48 hours as a complimentary gift if you'll go to our website right now. And of course, our website's www.ipowerteam.com, but use your own information. Does that make sense? Come up with something that makes you unique, and probably if you work for a big financial firm, they probably have something unique. But if they don't, if you're in a smaller boutique firm, create something. Create something that makes you stand out and be a specialist to your clients, where in this 5-minute audio, you give them nothing but content. No sales at all. And it's easy to create. Go to freeconferencecall.com today. Make the recording. You download the MP3, you go online to Google, look in internet translators. Somebody like 1 Hour Translation will make it into a PDF file within 24 hours in any language you want. So if you're marketing cross-country or cross-world in different languages, they'll create it for you within 1 day. Is that helpful? Then you go to Google once again and go what's called a free QR code. Make that QR code go to a squeeze page on your site or go to a constant contact download. Now you're building a database, you're building a list. And you're building it by creating massive value first. See, the mistake we make is, here's my card, here's my card, here's my card, instead of saying, I've got an amazing report that'll help anyone that's thinking about investing in gold, anyone that wants to do business in China, anyone that wants to do these things, right? Now make it easy for them. Because I want you to write this down. If they like your free stuff, they're going to love the rest of your stuff. But make sure you don't try to sell inside that 5 minutes, right? Don't try to pitch anything. Just give them killer content. You will find that this will help grow your database and your list faster than most anything you'll ever do, because this can be used everywhere. This little 2-minute message can be used on your videos, and you can adjust it for where it's a person-to-person versus a group, but it can also be used in all of your digital files, all your stuff that goes out online, right? Get the free special report right now, because they know, once again, once they have you in the list, right, you can follow up for how long? Forever. You're absolutely right. But if you don't kill them with content first, try to sell them, they're not going to buy from you. They're going to go find someone that provides what we call educational marketing. It's one of the futures. We found that a lot of business today is being done through educational marketing first. Provide some great value, provide some great education, the rest will take care of it first. So, good? Helpful? Say I have? Big things to do. Say I'm ready for more. Turn left, right, tell me you deserve more. Tell them, we got about 10 minutes left, we'll finish up. We'll get some drinks. So the last thing we look for in most businesses, right, is we'll interview them, what's your why? Right? What truly inspires you to do what you do? What gets you excited about your life? We work with so many C-level executives, they've kind of lost their passion. You know, they've kind of lost that edge. And we always bring it back to what inspires you at a core level. You know, and for me, it's always been my kids, right? It's my kids giving back, making a difference. But we'll also challenge entrepreneurs, what's your legacy plan? Right? What's the plan going to be? And this is a great question to ask CEOs, right? If you're going to invest in their business, what's your legacy plan? Where would you like to see things 5, 10, 15 years from now? Because based on those answers, you'll learn a lot about where they plan to take that company. And so we help entrepreneurs with what is your why? What truly inspires you at a core level? You know, and we always like to give back and make a difference in creative ways, right? We create these things called why videos, right? Where literally you can make a video. You can make a video of all the things that are most important in your life. And it's really neat to see how this stuff works, because once you start to put this down, right? Once you turn off the TV and you get rid of some of those, how many of you guys have some negative friends? How many of you guys have some really negative friends? How many of you guys live with that person? Write this down, they gotta go, all right? But what you do is you literally take out your cell phone today and erase all their names and numbers as fast as you possibly can. How many of you guys believe in positive and negative energy? So if you're carrying around a phone full of all negative people, what are you carrying around? A lot of negative energy, right? So you just change your voicemail. You know, you've reached my cell, your call's important to me, but at this point I'm making some major change in my life right now. And if I don't call you back, you're obviously one of them. Right? And I know this is tough, right? But the minute that you allow to release them from your space, you'll make more space for the most important people in your life. And we teach part of our Rainmaker program is create your why movie and watch it every day. Begin to really see in your life what are the things that truly are important to you. What truly inspires you at a core level. You'll begin to see things change in your life. The minute you are ready for more, write this down, more is going to show up. And that's why so much of it's when we look at these companies, work with entrepreneurs, what's your vision? We'll challenge them, what's your vision, right? And if the whole team doesn't know the vision, probably not a good company to invest with. Because it means they really don't know where they're going. But I can tell you that what's going to get them through the adversity in their life is what truly inspires them. What gets them excited at a core level to do more. And I think a lot of times, once again, we start with great intentions, but are they going to go through the challenges? I don't believe in motivation either. I think if you motivate a group of idiots, what do you have? A bunch of motivated idiots. Where are they going? Nowhere. But once you can get them to something where they get to a place where that vision's so big that it pulls them, say, I am unstoppable. Turn left or right, tell them it's your time. Come on, tell them. Tell them it's your time. Tell them you have big things to do. Come on, tell them you have big things to do. Tell them you don't know who you're sitting next to. Tell them, well, we'll find out at the cocktail party. Have you guys enjoyed the conference? Yes? And you know, we do these courses all over the world. So, you know, I think I leave from here, we go to, we throw a really cool yacht party on the Hudson for the 4th of July. We take some really cool clients out and have some fun, and we actually do a mastermind during the day and then throw a big party on the Hudson that night. We go from there to London, to Cyprus, to Singapore, Singapore to Seattle. We have about 10,000 entrepreneurs in Seattle. From there, go back into the Bahamas and then Cyprus. Then we throw a really cool event, if you guys are around, September 4 to 6, down in the Bahamas, as a matter of fact, for our Bahamian friends that are here. We throw a little mastermind and going global with this really cool artist named Keith Urban. Is that kind of cool? Say, I am ready for a lot more fun. Turn left or right and tell them you deserve more fun. I also want you guys to give a big round of applause for the group putting this whole event together, because they've done a great job. They deserve it. Absolutely. And so, if anybody here has an interest in our Rainmaker program, or for some of your students, right, it's really simple. We sell it online for about 22 grand. We give it with a scholarship at less than 2 grand for the whole year. So it's a very affordable program. It's online plus live. Our speaker programs are a little different. We do one-day speaker programs. We want to be a better public speaker. And we do really intense 5-day courses where we'll build your product box, shoot your videos, and then we put you on a stage in 60 days selling your program. Is that pretty awesome? And if that's something that resonates with you, just talk to me one-on-one. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. We'll have a team here tomorrow. I will not be here tomorrow. I'm very sorry. We'll have some of our folks will stick around. They'll be around for tomorrow. But we'll have some gift bags. I've got some great CDs. How many of you guys would like a great CD, one of our Rainmaker CDs? I mean, who would really like one? Where are some of those CDs? Where's our team at? Did our team leave, or is our team outside somewhere? Yvette, where's some of the CDs at? Yvette, who else would like one? If you like one, stand up. There's got to be more than that, Yvette. Where's some more? Get some more, please. Pass them out. Come on, give some of those out, right? We always like to give out some gifts. Yeah, why not? Man, that was fast. You took them all. Come on, you can't keep them all yourself. We'll get some more. How many guys also like really cool free gifts? Say, that's me. Who here has been in business for more than 20 years? Wow, more than 25 years. More than 30 years? So quite a few. So anyone that's been in business for more than 20 years, stand up. That's quite a group. Give them a round of applause. How many of you guys that are standing up like really fun events? Are you sure? Because we do an amazing event in Las Vegas. It's called the Ultimate Wealth Camp. What's it called? It's a 2.5 day, no, stay standing. You don't want to sit down for this one, right? It's in December, and it's an amazing event strictly on internet marketing and joint ventures. And what I thought we would do, we have a great sponsor for that. They're called, who's ever heard of American Express? Good sponsor, yes or no? Yes. So what I'm going to do for you guys, if you're more than 20 years in business, is that it's a 2.5 day super conference. We throw the party at a place called, who's ever heard of the Bellagio? So it's at the Hyde Club at the Bellagio. We threw this awesome party to kick it off, because one thing I believe in is always throw great parties. You know, it's really neat that last night in Chicago, I think it's the Peninsula Hotel, had like a $2 million party. And one of my friends, his wife actually works for Kenny Griffin with Citadel, and needless to say, they threw a hell of a party there last night. But we throw an amazing party in Vegas. Here's some more CDs while you can pass those out too, that's fine. We throw an amazing party in Vegas on December 13, 14, and 15. And what I'll do for you guys, if you'd like, we charge the tickets are like $5 grand a ticket, but I'd like to extend complimentary tickets for you guys. Would that be okay? Yeah. That'd be good? And we'll also pick up your suites. Is that pretty good? Yeah. Say, Bill, I like great gifts. So if you guys will make sure that if you have 20 or more years in business, make sure you get me your business card. We'll send you an invite with a room, and we'll also give you event tickets too. Would that be okay with you guys? It's really designed for internet marketing and joint ventures, and I promise you, you will get surrounded by some really amazing people doing some great stuff worldwide, and you'll get a chance to actually go pitch some of those guys some of your stuff. Would that be fun? We bring in leaders from all over the world for this conference. So there'll be people there from Malaysia, Singapore, all over Europe, right? And it really is a fun conference on two things, internet marketing and joint ventures. So if that's something that resonates with you, if you're more than 20 years in business, my gift for you guys is that you get a free ticket to the event as well as a free suite. Would that be good? Yeah. And I have one more gift for you guys. It'll be on the screen right here. I always like to give out cool gifts, right? And the last gift for everybody that's here is that we'll actually give you something really neat. If you'll go to this website, it's called Ultimate Secrets 360. Write this down, or take a picture. UltimateSecrets360.com. And all you got to do is use the code 2020. You'll get some great videos on time management, business launch, business growth. Just take that picture of that or write it down. It'll be good for 48 hours. So just go there and download it, right? It's a great gift. And I just want to say thanks for being here. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Hope you guys got some good input in that 60 minutes I had to cover with you. And then, you know what, let's go to the cocktail party, have a bunch of fun. I know Mark will be here for a few minutes. I know he's got a crazy busy schedule, but I asked him to stop by, and I thought it was great that he did. And if you guys have any projects or ideas or need some help, once again, either our Rainmaker business program or our speaker course, come see me directly. Sound good? Yeah. Thanks, everybody. You were absolutely awesome. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.